what are some fun things to do in Kansas City? I'm excited about this, so I can talk about this all day. We're gonna go down a list of 15 things that are fun, kind of attractions in Kansas City, so you can, when you get here, you can knock them out.
All right, so welcome to the channel today. We're gonna go over 15 fun things to do in Kansas City. I'm excited about this video, and if you're planning a move, why don't you drop a comment below and say hey, and we would love to hear from you.
We would love it.
Love it. So first on the list is visiting the World War II Museum down at the Liberty Memorial,
Or up.
Yeah,
On a hill.
Yeah, it is on a hill. You look down from up on the hill and you overlook Union Station and all of downtown Kansas City.
That's one of the iconic shots of Kansas City is from that.
Yeah, if you go to our website, we have that image on our website from the Liberty Memorial. You can actually take a tour up inside of the Memorial Tower, which is pretty cool. Kind of spooky up there, really, because it's quite a ways up for, gosh, when was that built? A long time ago.
Very exciting.
Liberty Memorial, it's awesome. You can go down into the hillside. It's kind of built like a bunker, and they've got all types of World War II relics, from the uniforms and the different guns, and they even have a big tank that's in there. It's a pretty awesome place to just stroll around. We took our kids there not long ago. Their grandpa is a huge World War II fanatic. They had a blast. I mean, my kids are 15 and 12, and you'd think they might be a little bored, but they loved it. I mean, they were checking out the guns and the uniforms and all the different artifacts.
Next, we have barbecue.
Yeah.
World Capital Barbecue, Kansas City, right? So we have hundreds upon hundreds of varieties of barbecue in Kansas City. Some mom and pop shops, a couple chains, you name it, we got it here. We got barbecue ice cream, barbecue for breakfast, barbecue here at the airport, everywhere. It's great to just go around. Everybody's got their favorite thing. I've got my favorite rib place. I got my favorite burn-in place. I got my favorite brisket place. There's places I haven't even been yet. You can't, in a lifetime, you can't knock it all out. Even like when you get outside of the city in some of these small little almost country towns, you know, like an hour away from the city, they're going to have a little small little barbecue shack too. So it's just, it never ends, and it's amazing.
Every year, they have the American Royal Barbecue Contest. It changes locations, but I believe they have it at Arrowhead. And everybody kind of sets up a booth and brings their smoker. They compete.
If you can imagine hundreds and hundreds of barbecuers coming down to compete with their trailers, and you're just walking through all this, and they're just like a cloud of blue smoke hanging over the whole city block, like several city blocks. I mean, it's just...
Yeah, that's awesome.
Salivating.
Just
thinking about it. It smells so good. And then you get to taste it. There's always a party down there, and it's amazing.
What's your favorite barbecue place?
Well, so I have my favorite. So Q39 is my favorite brisket place.
They have good ends too.
And they're Jack's, and then I like Jack Stack for my ribs.
Yeah, I just ate a Jack Stack the other day. A couple other iconic ones are Gates. Gates is just meat piled on, barely even have any bread, kind of like in the New York delis and stuff. Arthur Bryant's is not in the nicest area, but is one of the most iconic Kansas City barbecue places. Oklahoma Joe's, it used to be called. Now they call it Kansas City Joe's. That is in a gas station, really. They don't sell gas, but they sell amazing barbecue. The nicest place to go.
Some of these places are shacks, and that's what you expect. You go in there, the customer service is horrible. They just grab your meat, they throw it out of your bun, and you're just like, yes.
Yeah.
So easy.
Yeah, nobody goes there for the service or the ambiance.
Yeah.
They go there for the meats.
Yeah.
And another one that I have started to like a lot lately is Slaps. It's down in KCK. I think it stands for Squeal Like a Pig, but it is phenomenal. Tiny little place, barely anywhere to sit. It is some kick butt barbecue.
Yeah, so not only do all the places in Kansas City compete in this American Royal, but you'll have people from all over the country, which is kind of cool because then the restaurants that get the first, second, third, fourth, they'll advertise that for the rest of the year in Kansas City, so you can go seek those out if you can't make the American Royal.
Yeah, and I would say for you barbecue aficionados that Kansas City is different in the sauce that I think that's the sauce is the differentiator from, your Texas barbecue to different areas. Some areas are a little more sweet, and I think Kansas City has a little more vinegary, a little more tang type of sauce, maybe a little more spice in your Kansas City barbecue. So that's my humble opinion on the differences of barbecue, but Kansas City is one of the best places in the world for it. So, and if you're a local, please chime in on what your favorite barbecue place is in the comments.
All right, another thing to check out is the Jazz District. So this is downtown, 18th and Vine. You've probably heard that in a song or two. And it's a really cool area full of a lot of history. There is the Negro League Baseball Museum that's down there. And there is still a lot of operating shops, bars, concert venues that are still right down there. So one thing that I like to do down there is hit the Blue Room. So the Blue Room is a blues and jazz bar. And the last time I was there, it's just the kind of vibe, it's just really relaxed. There's going to be a show. Somebody's going to show up, but the band never all shows up on time. It's just one of those jam sessions. So you're sitting there having a drink at your table and the guy's playing the drums and you got a guy on the bass. And then 20 minutes later, another guy walks in with a guitar and he just plugs this stuff in and, they're all going together. And then, 30 minutes later, you got the saxophone guy walks in and it just keeps building. So that's kind of the scene. And then when the Blue Room shuts down, which is usually, I think, midnight or 1, there's a Pink Room after hours party, which I've never been able to stay up late enough to get to. Got little kids and all that kind of stuff. But, it's just another jam session where everybody that was kind of hanging out that night goes and they keep it going till the wee hours of the morning. And then I hear there's like house parties. I mean, it just keeps on going. Just a cool spot. With a lot of history, museums to check out for sure that are top notch. Actually, the Negro League Museum is in the Blue Room. They're in the same building, so you can do a lot of it at the same time. But really cool spot in Kansas City. In fact, that right down there used to be where the, I think it was the Monarchs, our baseball stadium was right in that area. So we used to have a baseball stadium right downtown, which is now moved and it's where the Royals is now today. But a lot of history, cool spot, great place to hang out on a Friday, Saturday night, take in some of that culture, history, and a little bit of Kansas City jazz and blues.
Yeah, that's the great thing about jazz. You never hear the same song twice, really. Our fourth thing on the list is strolling through the Country Club Plaza. And that can be fun.
Yeah, the Plaza is Kansas City's premier shopping and entertainment district. Also premier in price too, but it's 55 acres, 4 miles south of downtown Kansas City, just right smack in the middle of all the action. Over 200 stores. I think over 75 of those are just local to Kansas City. Just top-notch shopping, super walkable.
Yeah, so the Plaza is a great place if you want to go to lunch or to dinner or shopping. But in the wintertime, they also have the Plaza Lights. Which is awesome. I think they light it up Thanksgiving, don't they?
Thanksgiving night.
Thanksgiving night. Yeah, so it is kind of a tradition where people will go down and stand around in the evening of, a family thing to do and watch them turn on the Plaza lights and officially begin the holiday season.
Yeah, it started with a string of 10 lights over one of the shopkeeper's doors. It started in the 1920s, and then it has just grown and grown, and there's over 10,000 light bulbs across that thing. They add to it every year. And this attracts, especially on a nice November evening, if it's not freezing cold, over 10,000 people come out to watch this. And it's usually somebody famous in Kansas City, like maybe a quarterback or somebody that's done something extremely positive for the city that year that gets to flip that switch. So pretty cool. The whole news, every news station covers it, local news, and just quite an event for Kansas City.
The plaza was built in 1922 and was inspired by Seville, Spain. So it kind of has a Spanish vibe to it with clay tile roofs, and it's really charming place to spend the day. There's lots of murals and fountains. As long as you got some money in your pocketbook, then you should enjoy a stroll through the plaza. Number 5, the Nelson Atkins Museum of Art. It is sweet. And it's right down by the plaza in Westport and in that area that we're talking about. It has this huge lawn, and one of the things that you'll notice about it right away is they are known for the giant shuttlecocks, which is a...
I was going to say birdies. Yeah, birdie. That's what we always go, but they are shuttlecocks.
Yeah, for badminton, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know what artist did these. It makes you feel like you're tiny, like there's giants that have been playing a game of badminton, and a couple of their shuttlecocks have landed in the lawn. It's kind of a surreal feeling, like maybe you're an ant walking up to this huge museum of art.
Yeah, and the museum itself is a work of art. The architecture in there is absolutely insane. You feel like you should be walking down a hill, but you're going up, and the ceilings are all sloped. And it's just the art in there. I think it spans over 5,000 years of art history. So you're going to see everything. And of course, it always rotates through. You can have lunch in there as well, so you can go there, walk around it. I think it's free. I think you used to have to pay, but now it's completely free.
Yeah, the admission's free, and it's phenomenal. One of my favorite things about the Nelson Atkins is it has a huge collection of Thomas Hart Benton paintings. I actually got my bachelor's degree in fine arts a long time ago, which I don't use a whole lot for real estate, but
getting to use it right now.
Getting to use it, yeah. Yeah, so Thomas Hart Benton was a muralist and would do these huge monumental size paintings of kind of everyday America. And he would do them as commissions for state houses to, like put in the Capitol building. They would commission him to paint a painting that is 20 feet by 30 feet. And it's just phenomenal artwork. I think they have over a dozen Thomas Hart Benton murals in the Nelson Atkins.
Hey guys, if you're enjoying this video and you're a giving person, one way you can help out is to give us a like. Hey, and if you're coming to Kansas City and you're excited about checking out one of these things, or maybe something we haven't talked about, put down in the comments. Let us know what you're excited to check out about Kansas City.
All right, number 6 on our list. Think about taking a tour of the Boulevard Brewery, which is down in the Crossroads area and is actually a local brewery. Hometown guys from Kansas City started it up. It has an iconic smokestack that you'll see, and they have the smokestack series of beers that come out every year and will sell the giant bottles of beer with the high percentage alcohol. Pretty good stuff. They used to just be local to Kansas City, but I believe their distribution now, they've been purchased by InBev, and now they're distributed all over the country. So you might know of Boulevard, but it was all started here in KC.
Yeah, and if you go to pretty much any bar or restaurant in Kansas City, you're going to find Boulevard. So even if you don't make it down there, if you're having barbecue, check out a Boulevard. They usually have it on tap at all the good restaurants in Kansas City. You can also go down there. We actually had one of our client appreciation events. So that's right. If you come to Kansas City and end up working with us, you end up on our VIP list, and we throw a couple parties a year, and you'll be at that. So we might just be seeing you at the Boulevard Brewery anyhow.
But I think for like $20 or something, you can do a tour of the Boulevard Brewery, and they'll take you through and show you the whole beer making process. And then at the end of the tour, you get to taste several of the beers. So that's a pretty fun thing to do if you find yourself here in KC and looking for something to do.
Yeah, and it's also a great Father's Day present. They do something like beers for dads, or I don't know what it's called, but for Father's Day, you can spend a few bucks. They have a bunch of barbecue and a bunch of beer, and it's right down there at a good time and out in the street, and everybody loves it.
What dad wouldn't like that?
Maybe a silver one. Number 7, we have the Kansas City Zoo.
Yeah, you might take a trip down to check out the zoo. I don't think that the Kansas City Zoo is the best zoo I've ever been to, but it is a really nice zoo. And I think the nice thing about it it's nice for the animals, but it makes it not the best for humans.
Yeah, so they have done some things to help with that. So when I think of the zoo, yeah, it's great for the animals, like you said. Get there early. That's, I think, with most animals sleep during the day when it's hot. It's a lot of distance between like this thing to the next thing. So, I mean, if you're trying to get your steps, it's great, but usually you've got kids in tow and they're whining, and then you got to pick them up and carry them. So what they have done to kind of help with that is there's a train that runs around and through the zoo, so you can get off in different spots, don't have to walk everything. I think there's a tram too. And they've also added this, it's like a ski lift that runs right over the tiger cage. And I just...
Sounds amazing.
I think it runs by the tigers, but it isn't like a ski lift. You sit in it, it goes over the entire zoo, takes you to the far end.
Man, I haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, you got to get out there, brah. So it takes you over to the far end so you can get out, see some of those animals. If you don't want to walk all the way back, you can hop on that and see it from the sky. So they've done a lot of things to kind of improve that. You can also buy zoo poo. My dad buys that for his garden.
Oh, really?
I wanted to buy elephant.
Another thing I had no idea about. They wanted to create a more natural environment for the animals. The result is it's huge, and it's not like you walk up to a window and there's a rhinoceros right sight for you to gawk at. So I think it is, being in the natural environment, it's better for the animals. It just makes it a little tough to go to the zoo. So the Omaha Zoo is phenomenal, and it's not too far away. We're about 2.5 hours from Omaha Zoo, but the Kansas City Zoo is up and coming. They actually did get a polar bear recently. The polar bear exhibit is really great, and they have a new penguin exhibit. Another great thing to do coming in at number 8 is Loose Park. It comes up in a lot of our videos about Brookside, Waldo, and Westwood and Plaza. It's right down in that mix. It's kind of analogous to Central Park. It's not right in the middle of skyscrapers, but it is in the middle of some of the most expensive real estate in Kansas City. And it's a testament to how much we value nature. And it's a giant park that is a great place to have a picnic and lots of other stuff to do in Loose Park.
Yeah, and I guess during rose season, there's over 4,000 roses that are planted there with ponds, walking trails, pickleball courts, tennis courts. It's also, we mentioned the plaza earlier. It's within walking distance to the plaza. So if you're already checking out the plaza, just walk a little bit south and you're going to be able to take this one in too. So great spot, especially on a nice, beautiful sunny day. Speaking of getting loose, we got number 9 at Worlds of Fun and Oceans of Fun, right next to each other. So
what's more fun than that?
I don't know. It's pretty cool. Actually, it's great if you're local and a kid because you can get a season pass to this thing. So I'm not going to say it's like Disneyland or Disney World, but it's pretty close. It's a super sizable theme park, and you can spend the whole day and not ride every ride there.
Big roller coasters that flip you upside down, and wave pools at Oceans of Fun, water slides. And when you buy the season pass, you get access to both.
Yeah. So if you want to hit the water park, we got like 3 or 4 major big slides, like the big tall ones, there's a wave pool, there's the lazy river, there's a couple of slides and roller coasters that'll get you wet, but you can walk right back in between the parks. So if you're wearing water shoes and a shirt, then you can cruise back and forth between them too, or you can just take one in depending on the weather. There's always something new out there. It's a great spot. It pulls people from local cities all by local states nearby.
Yeah.
There's a campground right there, so you'll see people RV in it all year long just to go there and spend several days at Oceans of Fun and Worlds of Fun.
All right, you know all about this one.
All right, number 10, we've got the Steamboat Arabia Museum, and this is down in the River Market area, which we talk about a lot. It's a great place to hang out, to get a bite to eat, to get a local beer, to walk around, get some ice cream. Great spot for all that, and there's a farmer's market. You may or may not know, but the Missouri River runs right through Kansas City, and that's what the settlers used as they were coming up to head out west. They all got off the boat right about Kansas City, because that's when the river starts going north, and then started their wagon trail out west. So a lot of river boats were coming up from St. Louis right into Kansas City, and this happened to be one of those river boats that they found. So this farmer was out farming his field, which was now a cornfield, and happens to run across something. I don't know if something was sticking out of the ground. Well, he starts digging a little bit. Turns out it's a steamboat that they never found that sunk in the Missouri River. So he starts doing some research, going to town. They start digging it up, and there's a full steamboat that was fully stocked, all these provisions and all these artifacts that was perfectly preserved because it was in that kind of silty mud and stayed wet and never dried out, so it never fully got to rot. So he excavated this. There's a story behind it. If you go to the museum, he'll tell you, but he shows up to the museum when school tours are coming through and talks to the kids. He basically dug all this stuff up and then realized, you got to keep it wet or it's going to rot. So he dug a hole in his backyard, threw all this crap into it, and then filled the hole with water to preserve it as they slowly and painstakingly kind of restored each artifact. So when you get into this museum, you can go downstairs and see they had there was stores on there. So they have all these boots because they were selling these leather boots for all these little people.
Any gold?
I'm sure he kept the gold, but there's guns and spittoons and just all that stuff because those ships were coming up to bring provisions to the markets so that the settlers could stock up before they went west. And that's exactly what they have here.
Coming in at number 11 is you can catch a professional football or baseball game at either Kauffman or Arrowhead Stadium. The Royals, they had a run back in 2014 and 15 that was just... it took over our lives when they were in the playoffs and the World Series. So much fun to be had out there. And then my love are the Chiefs. The tailgate experience, it mixes all these fun things to do. The beers and the boulevard and the barbecue, and it all comes together at Arrowhead for a tailgate session before a game.
Insane, yeah. And it could be a 4 o'clock game, and there's people showing up to the parking lot at 8 a.m. I don't know where you're from, but maybe put in the comments what it's like tailgating in your town, but it's serious business here, let me tell you.
Yeah.
People damn near camp out for this stuff.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't matter what the temperature is either. They'll bring out tents and heaters and ice luges to take shots off of. I mean, the tailgates are serious, and it's a party. If you're in town and want to check out a game at the Royal Stadium or Arrowhead, then I highly recommend doing that.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, number 12, we have Crown Center. Now, this is located downtown. This is a really cool spot. You can go, you can do some outdoor ice skating. They keep this going all winter long. It's really nice. There's also some theaters down there. So every time I catch a theater performance, there's a couple. There's a really small one in the basement, and then there's a bigger one upstairs. So it's a great spot to go see live performing arts. And then there's some nice restaurants. It's got the, I think it's called Fritz, is a burger joint down there where there's a train that runs across the ceiling. And actually you order your food, and then this train, you can see it coming, delivers it right to your table, and then drops a basket of food down at your table. So there's fun things like that. There's, I think, Legoland's down there.
Science City?
No, Science City's not down there.
Oh, that's at Union Station.
But there is an aquarium now. We've had that for about 10 years down there, so you can go check out the aquarium. And just kind of a great place to take kids, take a date, that kind of downtowny stuff. Surrounded by great restaurants, outdoor parks. It's a great spot to spend the afternoon or an evening.
All right. Number 13.
Number 13, the trolley trail or the streetcar.
Yeah, going from the River Market down to Power and Light District, right?
Yep. All the way to Union Station, actually. This kind of runs by all the hot spots in Kansas City. You can walk it, you can bike it, you can take the trolley and get off at every stop, or you can rent one of those bird scooters and cruise that way too. It's just a great spot to take in all the great activities that downtown Kansas City kind of has to offer.
Yeah, it kind of unlocks the different segments of the downtown, from the River Market to Midtown to downtown, and there's a plan to expand it, isn't there?
Yeah.
Down to the plaza?
Yeah, all the way down to the plaza, and then even come up north of the river into Northtown. So it should continue to expand. It's completely free. You can hop on or off anytime. And it does run right down the road, so don't step in front of it, because it could still run you over. Every once in a while, a car pulls in front of that darn thing, and they just... But it's a streetcar, right? Runs down the street.
Number 14, you can learn at Union Station. They have Science City, which is the bomb for kids. I mean, they love going to Science City and getting their learn on.
Yeah, and Union Station, that number one thing we saw when we talked about Liberty Memorial, looks down at Union Station. So there's another couple things you can knock out at the same time. But great, Science City is amazing. I love going there as an adult. I just need to grab a kid. My kids are kind of out of it right now, so anytime I know a little kid in the family going, I'm like, hey, I go.
Yeah, it'd be kind of weird for you to just go with any old kid.
Yeah, I know. That's true. So if you're coming kids, you have a kid, I'll take your kid. No, that'd be weird. But it's also down by some great restaurants right down there.
Pier Ponds.
Pier Ponds is in there. When Union Station, what I think about is they just had exhibits there all the time. So anytime there's like a traveling exhibit that goes across all these cities, like I think the Mona Lisa was there for a while, so we had that. Then there was some space exploration stuff. We had like one of the pods that falls out of the sky after they land on the moon. I don't know what that's called. That kind of stuff was there. So it all was
Try and Go exhibit there recently too, I think.
Oh yeah, that.
All right, number 15, final fun thing that we're going to mention in this video. There's lots of other things that didn't get mentioned.
Yeah, just call me. We'll have a good time.
Yeah, but is the Power and Light District. It is full of nightlife. We've got the T-Mobile Center down there. So for the NCAA tournament, the basketball tournament, we get some games down there. There's all kinds of concerts in that arena. It's super fun place to be. Tons of restaurants, bars. You know, whenever you see the Chiefs winning the World Series, not the World Series, the Super Bowl.
Sports fan.
Whenever you see the fans that are like on TV, they are in the Power and Light area, which is basically like a outdoor shopping mall where all the bars are turned in on each other with a courtyard. Just a great place to party and have fun, and can't say enough good things about fun to be had there.
Great location, and that streetcar trail runs right through it.
There are a ton of fun things to do in Kansas City. We just named a few that we thought of off the top of the head. Definitely not an all-inclusive list, but if you know of something then that you think's fun that we missed, definitely drop a comment below. We love it when people comment and make this thing interactive. And yeah, what do you say, Zach?
Well, I say you did pretty good. And I say if you like this video and you're thinking about moving to Kansas City, then definitely give us a like and a subscribe on our channel so you can know about the next videos we post up. Probably going to like this video that we just did about the 10 best places to live in Kansas City. So go ahead and check that out, and we'll see you over there.
All right, we'll see you.